even the gospel that has been preached for the many years, I mean, that really distorted the people in general, because we've been preaching instant things that God will reply you today.
Sure.
That's why you talk about instant coffee, and your prayers will answer today. So before you leave here, and some of us have learned. We look back, and you can even take great examples about the Israelites.
Sure.
When he said, I'm releasing you from Egypt to go to your promised land. They too thought, we are done.
Sure.
We are arriving now. No, sir. It took time.
Well, greetings, family. Again, my name is Omega Kuno, and welcome to Omega Pod. It's an exciting time. I'm with Pastor Tebs David, one of the legends, actually, that God has blessed us in the gospel industry as well on the pastoral office. He has been there as a father, as a mentor, brother, friend to many artists out there. He's here sitting with me today, and I really rank him in a high respect that I have. Man of God, Pastor Tebs David, you are welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Yes.
What a beautiful time. I've been seeing you online. So today we are together here. I'm like, okay, this is good. I know we've been trying to do this for the past couple of months. It has not been working, but finally we are here.
and I want to tease you with this one, Muruti. Tell me, you've been watching, and I want to ask you a question.
All right.
As one of the fathers, the legends and mentors.
Right.
With Omega Pod, what do you think? Rate me. Rate me.
It's interesting that you were asking this question way early before we do the interview. But in a nutshell, it's a beautiful program, and I think you are handling it very, very well.
Thank you,
and we can see the people, the way they are reacting, the way they are loving.
Wow.
You can even see the kind of guests you're having.
Thank you, sir.
That says a lot to say if people are willing to align with what you're doing, because you have to check who do you align with? Do I need to do this or not? Is it important? Yeah, so I think the Lord has graced you.
Amen.
And so we thank God for your life. And this is good.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Tebs. And how are you doing? Welcome again.
Thank you so much. I'm good by the grace of God. It's just been God all the time and all the way. And so when God opens doors, we just avail ourselves. To do some work, and I remember when you were calling last year, can we work it out?
Hey.
And I'm like, no, this time not. Can we try next time? No, this time as well. So it's been a roller coaster. But at the same time, we just thank God, because some of the things what we've been praying for, what we've been looking for, and what we've been asking for. And so when God now is supplying, all we have to say is to appreciate God and say, thank you for giving us and opening the doors. And people like us who've been doing this for a couple of years or many years, to call it, and is to say, you are still here and you are still doing it. So it's a great grace.
Yeah. And you're looking good, man of God. I've been following you. I know you for many years. You're still looking neat, clean, and you grow young. How do you do this, Murut? I think someone at home will want to know, because Murut, I've never seen you. No, I must tell the truth. It's always, Muruti, you're looking good and you're representing the kingdom very well.
Look,
how do you do
you've got to be intentional in many things. And that too was intentional. I had to put that as one of the priorities to say, one, you got to love yourself. Two, you got to appreciate yourself. And remember, you are also representing God. And then thirdly, you want people to take you serious and know that they're not just taking you for granted. So there's something special you are delivering. There's something special you're bringing. And so you are becoming a vessel. You're becoming a vehicle. It is for that reason that you must be spot on to what you do.
Right, sir.
And then it makes it easier for people to receive you. And appreciate that. So yes, I must say, I thank God for the background.
Yes, sir.
That helped me to say, be intentional with this. Do it right. Keep time. Dress up properly. Be good and kind to people. You've got to be intentional with all these things, because they are key to relationships. Because you can't go far. They are key to relationships. Yes. And again, without relationships, you are very limited. Your gift will take you to a certain point, but there's an area where you will find a gate, and that only a relationship will open that gate. And I've learned that at some point you realize that the relationships, they run faster than the gift. So it is the relationships that are opening the doors even more than your gift.
Murati, slow down, please. Whoa. Young people, please get your pens, your papers. We're gonna be learning today. You're saying relationships, they run
Faster than your gift.
Than your gift.
Yes. So in other words, you can, if you build good relationships,
Yeah.
even if your gift is limited, in other words, you don't have much of the gift, the relationships will take you further and higher, and you'll be able to go way, way too far. So it's important that you create good relationships and nurture them well, nurture them well, and make sure they live right. I mean, I was saying to some of the guys, relationship is just how you balance your thing. When last did you say, let me just make a call to this friend of mine? I haven't spoken to him over a year or two without asking anything, without looking for anything, just to say, I want to check, how are you doing?
How are you doing?
It means so much to the next person on the other side. Because people forget that beyond the gift and everything, there's a human being. And a human being that needs to be loved and cuddled and respected. That needs to feel important, that I'm loved. And somebody else cares for me.
Come on now, come on.
And so if you are able to touch that element that says, this person really cares about me,
Sure.
That goes a longer way.
For
me, I've seen that doing so well. That'll be my encouragement to the rest of the people to say, take care of the relationships. A good example, we have a dear brother here, Opry Peacock.
Yes, sir.
I was like, I know him for the many, many years.
Yeah, right.
And through the many, many years, there's always going to be some ups and downs.
Okay.
But if you always remember the importance of relationship, and the importance of, because some of the things that you differ with, they're not as important as the way you're supposed to go.
Right.
So you got to look at where you're supposed to go.
Yes, sir.
And leave all the small little things that can be ironed out and worked out. So you realize it's been many years, and this has still been happening. And I see him, he's still pushing very, very well, and still really receiving people very, very well. So relationships are key.
Yeah. And Muruti, God has been sustaining you in this field of ministry, of being a worshiper for many years.
Yeah.
What sustained you, Muruti, until now, that kept you standing?
I think it's a very profound question there.
Yeah.
Because I must say, I bless God that God gave me wisdom to align myself with the right people around me.
Hey, Muruti, hey, you are here to blow my mind.
Hey. So, because the right people around you will help you go further, will help you sustain, will help you stay in faith, will help you do things better. And they'll help you when you're weak to say, get up, this can still be done. And even when an element of pride creeps in, they'll be able to come out and say, young man, slow down.
Slow down now.
We see some elements, and then you gotta be a kind of a person that somebody can speak to, which is one of the challenges we have currently. But I believe if you are that type of a person, you are able to sustain things. So I surrounded myself with the right people. I loved worship. For the many, many years, God has graced me with worship.
Yes,
And but I kept myself around those people who really preferred and loved what God has given.
Amen, sir.
And helped me to nurture it better.
Yes.
I remember I still have my mentor, who was my pastor. One of the weird things that ever happened to me many years, I think almost 30-something years before I even recorded the first album, is when I finished doing worship in church.
Yes.
And so and I'll do worship, it'll be so good, and we'll be praying, it'll be so powerful. The following Sunday, I was leading worship again. That thing did not happen. That thing that happened last week did not happen.
I want to hear this one.
So right after church, that pastor called me and he said, "Young man, come here." And she said to me, "What happened today?" I'm like, "What? Do I have to be accountable for the rest of the audience and the people?" And she says, "I asked a question now. What happened today?" I said, "No, but I thought I've done what I've done last week." And she says to me, "Remember, God is using you. He's anointed you. From the same oil, we tend to benefit. So if you don't become dry wood that God can use, we are also deprived of opportunity." He says, He put you for a reason. So therefore, make it your responsibility that every time I go to church, I want to see the outpour. Cry, pray, prepare, get ready. She says, you must get worried if it didn't happen. Do not be comfortable and think it happened last week. If it didn't happen, so what? Make it a responsibility to say, as long as God gave me the breath, before I leave that stage, something good must happen. That lesson, I took it home. It was a humbling lesson. And I ran with it. And that resonated with me for the many, many years. That I knew whatever God has given you is a responsibility.
It's a responsibility.
You got to take care of it.
Make it work.
Have it working. That's when I now started learning, which I didn't do before, to say before I go to church, before I go lead worship, I have to be the first one to wake up. I have to spend time in prayer before I even go to church. Even all the preparations that have been done, but I have to be the one that's soaked. The Lord has to speak to me about a song for the day. Because I am going to take them to another point. So it has to be me that's taking time to connect with Him. And it makes it easier because I am a dry wood. I can burn easy and the Lord can use me easily.
Pastor Tebs. You are a well of wisdom and you carry God's heart with you. I mean, many years back, there's a song that you did. Every day and every hour you are faithful. Simple song that we've been singing it for many years ago. You came in. You didn't do arrangements on that song. You stood in front of the people and went every day and every hour. It resonates to what you are saying right now. To say,
You see, some things you cannot cheat them. There are no shortcuts to certain things. When you come into things of the Lord, there are no shortcuts. And so God will always honor the heart. And it is for that reason that when you stand and this thing connects with you to say, if it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't be standing here. I don't even qualify to be here. But God qualified me. And then when I say every day and every hour, you remain a faithful God. And I look at what He has done for me. It talks to me before it speaks to other people. So it is actually for me before it becomes for other people. So in fact, much as I'm doing in front of people, but this is for me. That's what you got to understand. This has to work for me because it's for me. It's me connecting with Him and saying to Him, you are faithful. It is for that matter that when I connect with Him directly, somehow the audience, the people, get to join in and benefit in that. So I would believe that that has been, because it all comes from the heart. Your heart, once your heart connects with what you're saying, with the rest of the things, they just fall in place.
One of the examples that I'm following you from, as I follow your life as well, you don't run after a hit song. You don't run after awards. You don't run after fame. No. Your longevity and sustainability is kept. Like you are graced. Season after season, decade after decade, you still standing, and you don't even. I meet you today, you still even smiling and saying, "No, we keep pushing." And artists come and go, but you still meet Pastor Tebs tomorrow. No, we keep pushing. We still going on. Murti, that's grace.
Yeah, that's grace. That's grace indeed, and God will give you grace. And when you serve God, and you do your things well, and you plan well, and I
Sure.
keep saying you become intentional.
You become
to
intentional.
say, I'm not going to do instant. I'm not going to want quick results today.
Yeah.
But I know in the pace that I'm running, the results I'm going to get, they'll be worth the rest of the time.
Mhm.
So, and it's good. There's no pressure. I don't need to be pleasing anyone or anybody else. I don't need to be competing with any person else. I'm running. It's so nice to run your own race where the lane is yours, no distraction, no disturbance. And we were talking earlier on of the grace of traveling overseas and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I remember on my many years of traveling, one particularly island I loved, Trinidad and Tobago. Again,
Yeah.
when I got there for the first time, they did not know much about South Africa. In fact, even much about Africa. I remember many years ago, when I checked, they didn't have any, the radio station, the TV stations, they never had anybody from South Africa. Like literally, I remember clearly that on my next trip,
Yeah.
I somehow, when I was at the airport, I'm like, I need to buy. I bought Sister Rebecca's CD and DVD. Rebecca, I bought Bishop Benjamin Dube. I bought Joya Celebration. I bought a couple of them.
Yes.
I carried them over that side. And whereas at that time, I was the only one that they were playing as a South African artist. They didn't know anybody else. And I said, no, there are even better people out there. I'm going to bring you some of these things. You'll be shocked. And only when I brought those products there, they're like, what? We did not know there's a well in South Africa.
Sure.
But then again, because there's no competition, nothing to worry about. That's why I can introduce anything and anybody.
Wow.
You already know how many people that I have managed to travel with overseas. Many of them.
I know, Muruti.
But because I knew there's no competition, nothing to worry about. I can bring anybody because I found this assurance in me that whatever God has given me, no one else can take.
Sure.
This is it.
Yes.
This is what God has given me.
Yeah.
And so once you are settled in that area, you live a very good life.
Yes.
A life of no worry, of contentment, hope and belief.
Yes.
That I'm going forward and nothing else shall disturb or stabilize what I'm doing.
Yes.
And I think it's been the journey I've been traveling in. So I thank God for all of that.
And man of God, as Omega, youngster, growing into this industry and still learning, what are the things that I should be careful of, Muruti, in terms of seeing the grace? You know, at times God elevates us.
Right.
But we at times forget, and we really we idle so much that the devil finds loopholes to attack our lives in many aspects, you know, in many things. What are the things, Muruti, that I can ask you as a legend, as a father of the gospel till now? And you still stand. I've never heard any scandal, Muruti, about your love. I've never heard any bad. All the time when I hear about you, they'll say, Pastor Tebs David is anointed. He's humble, and he doesn't take regarding himself as a big, you know, he will go to the level of people. And I've tested that. I've been with you many times when we are invited. They say the truth. You will go there. You will sit there waiting for your time, even when the sound is not really doing, because you are very sensitive in terms of sound. I've learned you are very particular, but you will just sit there and you will go to the guys at the back, trying to help, and you will still go saying, Muruti, talk to me as a young person.
You see, it's the question you're asking is long.
No, go
Let
on,
me
Muruti.
summarize that
Yes.
by saying God gives us gifts, and everybody has a good gift. And I would say, as Omega, the man that God has lifted and given us something to give to the world. Firstly, is to say you got to set up goals for your own self. And a goal that you know will help you to continue to want to be, to continue to grow, where you don't feel like I've reached the ceiling, I've done enough. You always need to want to grow, and those goals will help you. One of my goals, I kept saying even when I started in this industry, I said, I do not want to be a local artist. I yearn to be an international artist in totality and truthfully so. And I did say, I'm looking forward to the times where I want to do so much overseas, sometimes even more than I'm doing locally.
All right.
And this I mentioned way back, some 30-something years when I didn't even know it'll come to pass. But I worked on it gradually. So the message I would say to you is that those big goals that you have, work on them gradually. Never let along the way hear the negativities of people,
Right.
and then you get destabilized into your end goal. Continue and work towards the big vision that you have, that God has given you. And when you do that, so you have a purpose of living. You have a reason why you are doing what you're doing, because you know, I want to go there, and I'm here today. And with those things, inclusive of them, of course, it's hardworking. Inclusive of them is creating great relationships. Inclusive of them is being true to yourself, to the people around you. Because sometimes people want to be something else that they are not. And that becomes a challenge that now you must live up to that thing.
Ooh, Lord.
So if at this moment I can afford to use this particular car, that's what I can. I will drive it with the clear understanding that this way I am today, I know where I want to go. Ignore those who are laughing at you today that is driving the smaller car, because they don't know where you're going. They don't know your vision, your dream, and even what God has ordained for you.
Yeah.
So keep traveling, because at the right time, things will change. So it'll be really a big emphasis to say, keep running towards your goal,
Right, say.
towards your dream and vision.
Right, say.
And never be distracted by anything else. Move on knowing for sure that at the right time. So celebrate your stages one by one.
Ooh. Repeat. Oh, let's be. Ooh. Celebrate your stages.
Yes.
One by one.
If you want to go to 100 and now you are on stage number 10, celebrate there. Be happy to be number 10. Yes, there are people who are already on 80. Don't worry about them. The Lord will enable you to get to that level. For now, be happy with where you are, but keep working towards where you're going.
Yes, sir.
In other words, don't camp in here. Don't say, I'm happy, I'm celebrating. So don't celebrate way too long. Celebrate and move on.
Don't celebrate way too long.
No. Move on, keep moving on. In other words, there will always be things that are keeping you to where you are, and the people will always want to be happy with where you are. But celebrate and move on. In other words, celebrate and go and rehearse more. Go write more songs. Go pray more. Go serve more. And when you do that, your level gets elevated. You will no longer be at the number 10. You will move to number 40. But sometimes the devil has a way to hide you, to hide things. But I like how God does it. God will hide you from the evil ones. And it'll be my prayer that, Omega, keep praying that God should hide you. That's why we used to sing that song that says, hide me under the blood.
Under the blood, right.
Because when you are protected under the blood, nothing can touch you. So you keep growing, even if they don't see. And when the right time comes, when the exposure is now up,
come on,
no one can bring you down.
Yes, sir. Murut. No, you are finishing me. Thank God you came here today, because I believe that you are even helping so many young people with answers, because these are the questions that we are having, and they look at you and say, but Why only difference? Why bana ba khale?
Yeah.
Ba santse ba le teng. I mean, look at Dr. Rebecca Malope, Pastor
look at
Tebs David,
well,
Bishop Benjamin Dube. They're still around. Yeah. But not the youngsters. And this thing is from people who are watching and following the gospel, especially to our whole. The old age people, they will say, but Luna, Baluna ba matsatsia. Le fella mo. What's happening?
I think even the gospel that has been preached for the many years, I mean, that really distorted the people in general, because we've been preaching instant things that God will reply you today.
Sure.
That's why you talk about instant coffee, and your prayers will answer today. So before you leave here, and some of us have learned.
Sure.
We look back, and you can even take great examples about the Israelites.
Sure.
When he said, I'm releasing you from Egypt to go to your promised land. They too thought, we are done.
Sure.
We are arriving now. No, sir. It took time.
It took time.
And even along the journey, they went through things. They went through Jordan.
Hey.
They went through famine.
Yay.
They went through things along the way. But that didn't say they are not going there.
Right.
They were still going to the promised land.
Right.
But along the way, there will be challenges. And so those things will teach you to say, sometimes there are times where God will answer you now and today and then, but there are times that things may not happen instantly.
Sure.
So you got to have that longevity with and in you.
Yes.
That thing that says, no matter what, I'm going on.
I'm going on.
It doesn't matter what I'm going through.
Yay.
I am going on.
Yay.
It doesn't matter what they say.
Yay.
I am going on.
Yes.
And most of us went through that type of life where some would laugh at us and like, you've been doing this for so long. I remember somebody saying, but we don't see where you're going. And I said, don't you worry. One day you will see.
You will see.
It may take longer, but one day you will see. And I remember the good part is that same person 18 years later came to say, I remember what I said to you. Number one, I'm here to apologize. Number two, I'm here to ask from you, how do you do it? The same person. Now I need to help. How do you do it?
How do you do it?
So, but God uses that to teach you a lot of things.
Amen.
Patience, perseverance. Yeah. Because there and then another human being will be saying, but you were bad to me. Why should I help you out?
Yeah.
No. That's when you say, no, let me help you out. You have to have. So God is teaching you along this journey for you to do things. So we just thank God for what He's doing.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, keep on keeping on.
Yes, sir.
Keep running this race at the right time.
Yeah.
God will make it happen.
I told you, young people, I hope you are writing this down. I hope. Murdi, there's a game. It's called Insta What.
Okay.
So we visited your Instagram.
I beg your pardon?
We visited your Instagram and we took pictures there, about 3 of them. We're going to throw them there, just throw them there, and you tell us what was happening and where. Let's get the first one.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
We want to
know.
Yeah.
This was a good one. 2 years ago, I hosted a team of leaders from St. Thomas. It's a Caribbean island that's under America.
Yeah.
It's a different guy, lawyers, judges, pastors, and them. So they came over and I hosted them.
Yeah.
And so now they invited me back to the country.
Oh.
So they had a grand dinner with me, a formal dinner here. We had a beautiful time. And I had a really great time. These are people of high profile in parliaments and people that are doing great work. So I look at them, I'm like, wow. It was great grace.
This is great grace. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, wow.
Yes, sir.
No, congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
This is amazing.
Wow, I don't know how you guys got this.
We follow you, Burutu. We follow your work. Next picture, please. There we go.
Whoa.
You're looking smart.
Whoa. I can tell you now where I was here. This is Times Square in New York. I went to Times Square Church in New York.
Oh,
one of the beautiful churches. And guess what?
Yeah.
I went there, I think it was the first time we were taking Motswedi, Mutsudi Mo. Remember, that's the girl that I recorded when she was 9 years old.
Sure,
Mentored
yes.
that girl.
Yes, I remember
from
the girl.
then
Yeah.
onwards, and now she's international. She's doing extremely well. So she leads worship now in this church.
In the church.
So yeah, I went to the church. It was beautiful, like
Muruti.
one of the top churches in New York. And just for me to have the opportunity to introduce her to the States and different. Well, so she studied and completed her studies in there. And now she's doing work all over India, China. She actually sings in Mandarin. And I'm really proud of the girl more.
Yeah.
So that's where I went, Times Square Church. My goodness, you're taking me back.
Yeah, we're taking you back. Yeah, let's have the last picture, please. There we go.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
We follow you.
Look at that. Oh, man, this is dangerous what you're doing.
We're checking you.
Well, this is One Small Six.
Right.
One Small Six. Yeah. I met him when he was 5 years old.
Five.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I was friends with his parents.
Lord, thank you for Omega Pods.
Yeah. So I met him. I was friends with his parents, and we were very good friends. So I saw him growing up since he was that age. And hence, finally, when we saw that there's a gift in him, the parents really handed him over to me. So I brought him over to Pretoria, and he stayed at my place, put him across. He was my backing vocalist. I traveled all across with him. And then he moved, it became a really good backing vocalist. And then finally, it was time for him to record. So he's now recorded, he started with singles.
Yes.
And then now recorded. So he's been nagging me because I've been mentoring him since that age.
That age, yeah.
Until he got married now with children and whatever. So it was finally, I said to him, okay, my last throw to you is that I'm going to take you to the States. And so we were traveling for the first time last year, 2024. Went with him. I said to him, I'm going to take care of your tickets. I'll take care of your accommodations and everything else. And we introduced you to my area where I'm working. So we went together there and did some work. So it was a good one. So I'm very proud of the work that he's doing, the way the Lord has anointed him. And likewise, every time I say when God gives you something, it's not only for you. If God opens a door for you for a church, it's not only for you.
Come on, son.
So we got to learn and understand that door says to you, allow other people to utilize that. So it is for you to say, this is one of the guys that I know, and he'll be a blessing to you. I recommend him. Put him on the stage and see what the Lord is going to do. And he's done so well. He's done very well. Over 10 churches last year, and then flew from there. He flew straight to the UK. He's done 7 churches. He was in Amsterdam. So I said to him, this is your start into the international world. And I'm glad because of that, this year also is lined up a couple of trips. I said to him, I don't need even to go with you now. Go your way, I do my way, but I'm glad we can introduce you to that level. So One Small Six.
That's the man. Muruti, I know you've raised many of them. The Turkeys, the Take Shows, you've raised many of them. But this one, because specifically you spoke about 5 years when you met one six. There's a project, I think it's the last one, the last one, the recent one that you did.
Right.
The feeling of him being a conductor or an MD from 5 years to your stage of recording.
You are touching an area there. And let me tell you, what is very good about it? God has a way to deal with things.
Immensely.
I have been working and running and working and 2 years ago, he sat me down. He said, you've served us. You've served me for the many, many years.
Yes, sir.
He says, from now onwards,
yes, sir,
when you do a project, I want you to sit down. I'm going to do the work. Tell me what is needed. So for that recording, he ran like literally everything. He was in charge of the band, the singers, the whole thing. He said to me, I want you to relax. I want to take care of you. I mean, like literally, he would come and say, I want to make sure you had something to eat. I'm bringing you water here.
Once
Sit
more.
down here. What you don't want, and so it's rare to find people of this caliber who continually want to appreciate the opportunity that he found, and so yes, you are correct. He did everything, and he just said to me, "Give me the songs,
Amen.
I'll work on them," and he did
Yo.
the entire work.
Yes.
I had a stress-free
Phew.
kind of recording.
Yo.
I just walked in, done my part, and he made sure everybody is taken care of. So I thank God for this kind of rewards.
Amen. Say.
Hardworking pays.
Hard work pays. Once more, says, may God bless you for this, man, for not forgetting where you come from. Because we quickly forget and we quickly want to say we have arrived.
Yes.
And that spirit is killing us. To say,
it's a dangerous spirit because
dangerous spirit, yes.
What you're doing, you're looking for some more doors.
You've said it much better. Said, yo, Pastor Tebs, who are you?
Yes. So I mean, track back, quickly revise back. Those leopards, 10 leopards, once they got healed, only one went back to say thank you. And you know what he said? He said, "Where are the others? Were you guys not 10?"
Yeah. Where is the others?
Yeah, were you guys not
10?
Where are the others? Only one came back. But look at the child. You have children. It is your responsibility to look after your children. But the day you come back with a brand new pair of shoes and give it to that baby, and the baby looks at you and says, "Daddy, thank you so much." And tomorrow, even when you have forgotten, that baby comes back and says, "Daddy, thank you for that pair of shoe."
Yeah.
It pierces you deeply. It says to you, you feel like, I want to do more.
I want to do more.
I know it's my responsibility. I'm supposed to buy 2 pairs. I think I'm going to buy 4.
Sure.
Because of this gratitude.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. You close the door when you don't appreciate. So appreciation is key.
Now, we've been talking more of industry and all that. I want to make sure that when I leave here, Pastor Tebs, I have really downloaded so much. We touched more of industry, the work and all that. Now I want to take it to the church, spiritual things, where everything starts.
Right.
The importance of serving as a worshiper.
Right.
Before even God elevates you,
right.
even when He has elevated you, not to forget the platform to serve, the importance of a worshiper.
And I must say, it's a crucial thing. For me, it's very crucial because it tames you, it humbles you. You learn so much. Look, right now as Omega, when you're going to minister elsewhere, you have a team of people that are capable.
Yes, Maurice.
The band singers that are capable. You teach them one song, they'll catch it in a quick sense of it.
True.
I mean, very quickly, they'll do it so well and right.
True.
But what will humble you if the very same song, you now need to teach it to a worship team in church who don't know a thing. What normally takes you a day with your team, that side, it may take you 2 weeks to 3 weeks.
Sure.
So it trains you humbleness.
Humility.
And all humility to say, they are not the same.
You gotta
treat them with the same respect.
Ooh.
The fact that they don't have what your team has, don't change who they really are.
Repeat that, Murtigi. Wow.
The fact that they don't have what your team has, don't change who they really are.
Oh.
Therefore, still treat them with respect.
Yes, sir.
Train them.
Yes, sir.
Give them enough time.
Right.
Show them love. And one day they will also become better. So the involvement of the church taught me all of this kind of stuff. And also say, it doesn't matter what they do to you outside. They put red carpets. You can see some of the pictures we were watching there. It was on red carpets and stuff.
No.
But when you come back home, you are a child.
Hey.
When you are in the church, you're a pastor or prophet or apostle, Omega.
Right.
But when you arrive in your house, you are a husband.
I'm a husband, right.
You are a dad to your children. So therefore, you got to learn all these ins and outs. So if you're a worshiper belonging to a church, when you go back to the church, You are the son, not the daughter, to the church. You are not a celebrity. You are not. You are what it is elsewhere. So that's why we make mistakes. We feel like, yeah, no, they respect me better outside than at home. Of course, it's your home. Of course, they see you as a child. Even if they because they've raised you. You may feel like they don't treat me like I don't get red carpet. You cannot get red carpet at home.
At home, yes.
You don't need red carpet at home. At home, you serve.
You serve, right.
You're a child at home. You serve. So, but again, it teaches you a lot. Once you master that, you know you can do whatever you do, come back home and serve. Outside, they'll serve you, but come back home and serve. And no, I mean, we used to do a lot of those that I would travel and get back home 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And knowing for sure that, by the way, it's 4 a.m., but 6 o'clock I need to be in the church.
In the church, right.
Because I lead worship in the church. And so literally I'll say there's no need to sleep. Just 4 o'clock, get ready, have a cup of coffee, get yourself ready. It's time to pray and prepare yourself. I'll sleep after church. And that's a type of commitment that will help you to ground you in the church. And even the leaders will know we can rely on him. We can depend on him. In other words, even if he's not around, he'll do everything in his power to make sure the work of the Lord don't suffer because he's elsewhere.
Yes.
So you maintain the level.
Yeah.
And God will honor that.
Yes.
So continue to be of service to your ministry.
Amen, sir.
That's what I personally had to do. And I thank God that God gave me the opportunity to do that. In the church that I served for 30 years.
30.
30. I served there as a worship team leader. And the time came where I was traveling a lot. And I had to get somebody to lead worship and run the entire thing. But guess what? Every time I have an opportunity, I go and sit. And I used to say to them, when I'm in the church, you're not bound to give me a microphone.
Yes.
I'm a member of the church.
Wow.
I'm coming to sit and be fed.
Wow.
And I'm coming here to serve. If they take offering, I'll take the offering basket. I serve the people. Because I'm a member here.
Yes.
And I must say, when I was saying earlier on, it's good to align yourself with good people that will teach you all these things. One of the guys that I've been looking after is Reverend Dr. Elijah Maswanganya. Yeah. I grew up very close to him in the same church, actually, of Assemblies of God. So he used to sit right in front of me.
Yeah.
I could not, when I was still a young boy, I couldn't understand how he landed on a Saturday morning in Joburg, where he was addressing a president of India. He was invited by Indian government. He lands on a Saturday. He drives down to Limpopo. And on a Sunday morning, he was with us in church. At that time, we were sitting on benches, meaning there were no chairs.
Yes.
Our church was not even covered. There was benches. And the man will sit with us there. We'll do everything. And there would be a preacher. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, he could preach 10 times better. No. He will serve that preacher who's still learning how to preach.
Landing from India.
Being honored, and it was a royal invitation.
Yes.
But he comes back home, he sits and serves. And so I still honor that man. He taught me a lot of stuff. It is really, really strongly because of what he's been doing that made me so sober. And then I realized it doesn't matter where God takes you. You are still a human being. You are still a child. You still need to serve. And it's important that people should see you serving. Look at where we are today because of what he has done. And now I'm able to even impart the same thing to the other people because he's done it so good, so well. So it helped a lot for one to serve in the church. And so it's been a long journey. I as you know, I was in Limpopo, moved from Limpopo, and then I went to Secunda, Bethel. That's where I met up with once more. And then moved from there and I lived in Soweto. Served in Soweto. Then I moved from Soweto to Pretoria. And that's where I served in Pretoria for 30 years.
For 30 years.
Yes, until my pastor says, now I release you.
Ooh.
You need to go and do your own ministry.
Yes.
I've seen what you've been doing. and I want to put an element on you.
Hmm.
And prayed for me and released me.
Yes.
And at that time, I was still hanging on. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready. He says, it's time, you need to go.
Hmm.
The Lord has impacted you, has given so much. Go out and be a blessing to the nation.
Amen.
And that's what it is.
And this goes to those that God has elevated already from church serving, and God has trusted them and gave them a platform of going higher and higher now as gospel ministers.
Yes.
There's this same route as we are almost about to wrap up.
Yes.
That says your gift will only take you to where your character will.
Yeah.
There's that saying. You know, I don't know if I'm saying it right.
So it can only take you, the gift will take you to only one point.
Right.
To a certain point.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I call it a border.
Come on. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Your gift will travel with you until you get to a certain border. And a passport to that border for you to cross, it's a character. It's no longer a gift. So
it is no longer a gift.
It's no longer a gift. Meaning if you don't have the character, it doesn't matter how gifted you are, you'll be limited to that wall. So it is key for you to work on your character because that gift is limited. So, but you have them both, you can go far. You can achieve so much. So it's important for you to always look into your character.
Yes.
Work on it.
Yes.
Harness it.
Yes.
And always work on it. I keep saying always keep working on it because there are elements in us that keep wanting to raise up and to get up and like, you know who I am?
Yeah.
And then you have to speak to yourself and say, I am a child of God. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to do that. Even if they're prompting me, I'm not going to do that. You always want to get down in that level. And that's how you build your character. And also to say, when you said I'm going to do something, do it.
Do it.
And you say I'm going to be there this time, be there.
Sure.
Whatever you commit, you do. Even if it's hard, because you've committed, go ahead and do it.
Yo, Muruti have explained it much better. And thank you for that. That one, I'm taking it home. That a gift will take you to a certain place, which is the border.
Yeah.
But a passport to the other side
is your character.
Plans for 2025, Muruti. What are the plans?
Looking forward to 2025. Exciting.
Yes.
As it is already preparing to travel already.
Yeah, already. Yeah. You just told me now that soon you'll
traveling
be out.
Around and lots of good things coming up.
Amen.
I think this year I got the US now in the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I've got UK in May. I've got another US in June. And July, I've got the islands coming up as well, and there's Australia that's knocking later this year. So I'm really humbled.
Amen.
I'm humbled. Little did I know that some of the songs. There's one of the songs that I've done. Yes. Little did I know that they singing the song in India. So I got a call, and so they're cooking something by somewhere at the end of this year. I will see myself in India. So I look at it, I'm like, look at what the Lord is doing. Look at what the Lord is doing. So I just thank God. So a lot of stuff lined up. Even locally, I think we'll be putting up some stuff in here.
Amen.
That will be serving our home, our people here at home. Because we've been doing a lot outside, but this year we are looking at doing at least a minimum of two events that we'll do. That are really, I believe we will put our hearts into it, and that will change the lives of many people.
Yeah.
And I always say, if God has blessed you, go ahead and bless other people.
Yes.
What else are you doing that says you are helping other people? You are changing other people's lives. One of my passion is to work with orphanages, and I run and do a lot of those.
Wow.
Even when I'm overseas, I remember I went to a drug area in an island where they say it's dangerous, you can't go there, whatever.
Yes.
We put up sound there, put up some music there. I started singing there, and the guys were drunk and high. They came closer, and the Lord gave me the opportunity to speak to them. And when you look at that, you're like, whoa, look at what the Lord is doing. So it is those kind of ministries that really touches me deeply. I do prison ministries as well. because I keep getting invitations to do prison ministry. So those things that touch my heart deeply.
Amen,
Then
sir.
I know we are really making a difference in the lives of people.
Amen, sir. Murti, thank you for coming. I can't believe that it's this time already of saying goodbye, but we are over even 48 minutes already of talking, and I will sit here and download you, but please do come again. We
Thank
need
you.
you for part 2. You know, I still have a lot of questions, and I still believe that even viewers at home, especially youngsters, musicians, they'll still want to learn more. And 2 questions I have for you, Muruti. You run workshops. If pastors at home will want to engage with you, do you do workshops?
Oh, definitely. Yes, we do workshops. We do worship workshops. In fact, even leadership workshops. That's what we are doing now, because I've been involved in a lot of churches.
Oh, great.
After traveling with and doing so much, then there's a need for you to say, I've seen these people doing this way.
Yes.
How about you look at that, and we help each other. So we do leadership seminars and training and worship camps where we take you away for a couple of days and great retreats. And so... Yes, we do a lot of those.
Yes, please.
You can touch us on our social medias. It's Tebs David on Instagram and all other platforms. You can find us there.
Yes.
And be a blessing to what we are doing. And we want to just connect with you. Talk to us.
Yes, because the reason why I'm asking is because a lot of worship teams now, Muruti, in churches, they are growing musically. So they are good.
Yes.
They are really good. I mean, back in the years, we'll never find a church ready with loop channels.
No. Where there's already songs are ready.
Yeah. Now they put even ear. It's ear monitoring.
No monitors. Everything is on point.
They are proper. So I believe that they will need workshops while they're still there, so that when they get to the industry, they know what they are getting into. You know?
No, I think it is very, very key what you're saying. A lot of preparations, a lot of things that need to be aware of. So we take time to bring that into place. And also, we are also helping those who already have to say, don't lose the real touch of God. Let not those lights and flashes and
mess you up.
And the screens, then you forget the real reason why we're doing what we're doing. So we also try and align some of those things to say they're key, they're important, we want them, we have to have them. They help us in many ways than one. However, let's not lose what we really have.
True. And the last one, Muruti, this goes to your fans. Then I know many of them probably they will want to know.
Right.
You are Maponya.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you relate to the Maponya family, which is in Tate Maponya, who built so many malls? His legacy lives, Muruti. We don't want to lie. And may his soul continue to rest in peace. He's a great man. He has worked hard. And I know that maybe some of your fans will want to know, Maponya.
No, it's so true. It is so true. And I remember when I ventured to say, no, but I want to make a brand that is called Tebs David.
All right.
And the old man called me to his office. He was not happy with me. He's like, listen, I've taken time to bring up this surname. And you also now have the opportunity to do one and the same.
Yes.
And yes, he's our great grandfather, and he's done so much work.
Oh wow!
And I must say that's a blessed family. That the Lord has really, really blessed. Hardworking in general and totality. Even the people around always speak about is hardworking and hardworking pay. So hence you saw me when during his funeral memorial, I was the one doing music and worship. I ran a lot of stuff there. So when we have families, I'm the one that does the music for them. Generally, we actually even have our Maponya Forum. That all the Maponyas come together once a year.
Wow, that's
beautiful. So he was our president, the late.
Oh, wow.
So he'd bring everybody together, so we'd move around and do that. So, the Lord has really graced us in that regard to bring us leaders of his caliber who have shown us that you can come from a dusty place. If you ever get to know his history, you'll see that only God can do it.
Only God can do it.
Dusty area, very little education, but he turned things around and look at what he has built.
You, Pastor Tebs, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
I
you. May
love
the
you
good
from
Lord
my heart.
continue
Thank
to
you.
bless you.
Yes.
It's been very wonderful to be here. And I do
Yes.
know the Lord will take you from this level
In Jesus'
to the
name.
next level.
Amen.
God bless you.
Amen. See you next time.
Amen.
Very soon. Ladies and gentlemen from Omega Pod, we love you and thank you for staying with us. See you next time.